They're essentially infectious proteins, which is a real kind of strange anomaly because all infectious organisms usually are associated with either viruses or bacteria or some kind of combination of both. But um, the fact that proteins can display infectious behavior really came out of Stanley Prusner's research, who got a Nobel Prize, and the previous sort of assumptions about this infectious entity that was associated with transmission of these weird neurodegenerative diseases that became known as mad cow disease in cows and chronic wasting disease in deer. Well, there was a sort of an assumption that there was some kind of virus involved. I mean, that was the original assumption until sort of Stanley Prusner really started putting the idea of infectious proteins on the map. And I mean, everybody carries prions, and when prions are in a particular conformation, shape, um, then they do a lot of good in the cell. But it's when they flip to this alternative conformation is when they start really wreaking havoc on the cell, and then as time goes on the larger tissue, which is the brain. And the standard way of looking at the brain after infectious prions is almost like Swiss cheese. I mean, there's big holes punched in the brain over a few years of this alternative conformation working its way through.
Just so that we're getting the vocabulary down, can you describe the difference between a downer and a walker?
In terms of cows,
Yeah.
yeah, it's a downer cow is basically a cow who has lost the use of his or her nervous system and muscles. In other words, they can't get up and walk. A walker is a cow that is displaying preliminary symptoms, but is not actually sort of at the stage where it's becoming terminal. And the downer cows are usually well on the way to death, and walkers are they may be staggering, they may be shaking, they may have sort of uncontrollable twitches and all of that, but they're still able to walk. But so it's just a kind of a progression of symptoms.